Welcome everyone, Team 7 with another team talk. And today's topic is ups and downs of Norwegian Encore. We just got off Norwegian Encore, so we figured we'll do this overview. We'll end the series with our ups and downs, likes and dislikes, what went right, what went wrong, whatever you want to call it. Who would like to start?
I will start.
Okay.
Okay. So to start off with, one of my favorite things about the ship was the layout. It was easy to memorize. It was the deck straight across. There was no center elevator banks that throw off the floors. It was really easy to memorize for all of us. And usually Ma has trouble with that. And also the decor around the ship, the colors that were used were very aesthetically pleasing. I just liked it. It was so pretty. Yeah.
Okay. It really was a pretty ship.
It was.
Mm-hmm. So the next thing would be the food. I love that they had a great variety in the buffet. So kudos to that. The buffet was amazing. Also, we did have a couple specialty restaurants. They were also superior. Food, absolutely one of the best we've ever had on any of the ships we've gone.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And next, the Galaxy Pavilion. It was very unique and something very cool that I enjoyed. The games were all different, so you never were looking one place and it was the same thing as the others. And they were they were pretty affordable. And then one of the, what are they called?
The F1 simulator?
Yeah, the F1 simulator, you had to pay extra for that one, but they did have singular cars that you didn't have to pay for. Well, extra.
And in case nobody saw one of our other videos where we kind of talked about this, the Galaxy Pavilion is basically augmented reality and virtual reality activities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Next on the likes, thumbs up would be the live DJ at the pool deck.
Absolutely.
They always had a live DJ at the pool deck. So whenever music was playing, there was a live DJ there, mixing music. It was always current.
Mm-hmm.
Always a good variety of music. So I appreciate the live DJs at the pool deck.
Absolutely. And this is all day long.
All day long, yeah. It's not something everybody does, but they do.
Another thing that was also really great was the shows. So we saw Choir Man and Kinky Boots. We didn't get a chance to see Happy Hour Prohibition, the musical, because it was all booked and a bunch of stuff. But I'm pretty sure that was probably great because a lot of the actors from Kinky Boots were in that show. But the Choir Man and Kinky Boots that we saw were both amazing. And also for Kinky Boots, they had Broadway performers that performed it on Broadway, on land, on the boat. And it was really cool to be you saw a real Broadway show there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Choir Man, you've got that is probably
probably
one of the best shows we've ever seen on a cruise ship.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it was great.
Absolutely.
It was really good.
I didn't think they were gonna outdo Kinky Boots, but
they did.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, absolutely.
Anybody else?
Yeah, so one of the other things that I really liked about it is that we actually had the drink package. And most of the ships that we go on, we have drink package. We're usually limited to what we can actually get at a certain time. So some ships will say every 5 minutes you can get a drink, or you can't get shots, you can't get this or that.
Can't get multiple drinks.
Exactly, but this ship, it pretty much, if you had the drink package, you could pretty much get anything you want. Obviously, dollar range specific. However, I could go to the bar, I could easily order me a Long Island as well as get me a shot of Patron, and there would be no issues. There was even times where I ordered multiple drinks, one for myself and one for my husband, and there was never an issue. So no other ship I've been on, I've been able to do that, and so that was really awesome.
Yeah. One of my likes, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, and I specifically wanted to bring this up because I've given a bunch of vloggers a hard time about this, and I can't believe I'm going to say it, but one of my favorite parts of the ship was the observation deck. And I know I've given people hard times about it. I was like, how can somebody say the observation deck is better than everything else that's going on in the ship? And I'm going to say it right now and tell you, the observation deck is probably the best part of the ship. Absolutely.
Probably because we didn't get to do a lot of the other stuff, but we thoroughly enjoyed it. We spent the most time in the observation
Exactly.
deck.
And I can see why other people who probably had the same experience we did would gravitate to the observation deck.
Yeah.
So, yes.
We were in there a lot.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yes, we was.
Another is that the casino on the ship is pretty large. And we all know you gotta hold your breath walking through the casino because it's so smoky in there. Well, guess what? On the Norwegian Encore, they have a separate room for people that want to smoke. So you can walk through the casino and your face doesn't turn red because you're holding your breath for so long.
Or you don't have to run.
You don't have to run through the casino either and then they yell at you for running. No, you just walk through, you cruise it because there's a separate room for smokers. And yeah, it's great. No smoky smell.
That is pretty awesome.
Was good.
And none of us, I don't smoke, she don't smoke. So it was great for us.
Never gonna smoke.
So that's it for the likes?
That's it for the likes.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it for the likes?
Yep.
Okay.
We'll move on down the road.
Now we're going to move on to the dislikes. Dun, dun, dun. Who wants to start with the dislikes? I'm going to start with the dislikes.
You should start.
Let me start with the dislikes. Let me tell you my biggest dislike about this. Well,
Surprise her, folks.
yeah. This is gonna come as a shock to everyone. But my biggest dislike on the ship was the bar service.
What?
I know. Can
What?
you believe it?
I would have
The
never
bar
guessed that.
service. From all the stools, being in front of the bar where you can't get through. There's not even. So a lot of times when they do that, they leave a little opening so you can get through. No opening. Everybody's sitting shoulder to shoulder at the bar. Once they sat down, there's high back chairs. You can get comfortable. The pre-mixed drinks were terrible. Pre-mixed drinks are terrible. And also too, the bartenders themselves, numerous times, they just didn't know how to work a bar. They just didn't know how to work a bar. I know in the atrium bar, they had 2 bartenders who were supposed to be tending the bar, but they had no system. You can watch, there is no system whatsoever. Instead of dividing the bar in half and you take this one and you take that one, they would just, whoever walked up to the bar and was the loudest, that's who they were serving. And that's really no way to run a bar.
Yeah.
So that really isn't. So that's I mean, I can go on and on. Bar service, terrible, big down.
Kind of piggybacking on that and just kind of what he was saying about the bar staff, I will say this is probably one of the first ships that we've been on where the staff has been completely unknowledgeable about the ship. Yes, we know it was a new ship, but I feel like I would ask them a question. Everybody was so wishy-washy. They weren't sure what to do, where things were happening, how the activities were being run. And then also the professionalism overall.
Oh, it was terrible.
I talked to pretty much every group, whether it was bar service, your room custodian, and probably the only 2 people that I would say that were actually a pleasure was our room custodian and the one manager that we spoke to about our issues with the bar service.
Yes.
Besides that, one person in guest services, but everybody else at all the bars, the dining areas, unless they're telling me happy, washy, pretty much everybody else just was, the professionalism just really wasn't there.
One thing that was very was the limited non-paid for activities. So if I wanted to maybe do a trivia one day, it was not on any of the itineraries. It wasn't anywhere that you could find it. You just had to walk around and maybe you could hear it happening and then you would go and watch it. But there's very limited amounts of what you can actually do. There was no karaoke, which has me sad.
There was a few.
There
was maybe one or 2 karaoke's and 1 or 2 trivias, but I think they called it something besides karaoke.
Yeah.
But either way,
I don't know.
There was very little.
There was very little of what you can actually do.
Yeah, in the list of activities, even when you looked inside the paperwork on the app, what do they call it, Navigator, or whatever they called it? I can't remember what they called it. Freestyle. We've been on so many.
I think it was Freestyle Daily.
Yeah, I think it's Freestyle Daily. Yeah, Freestyle Daily. There was very little bit of activities listed on that. So.
Yeah, it looked like, if you looked at it, it looked like there was a tons of activities, but a lot of it was just opening and closing of stuff.
Yeah.
Really wasn't a lot
Yeah,
of
exactly.
activities.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the least amount of activities I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Especially on sea days, it just wasn't enough.
Another dislike was the fact that the kids clubs had a limited number of slots and they weren't open all the time. So that meant there was a lot of like 5 and 6-year-olds that were like running around the ship unsupervised, and there was a lot of them. When I say a lot, and it's really like really loud at times and very cramped with so many kids running around, and yeah, it's just not pleasurable.
Yeah, they had I believe 1,700 kids on board and only 150 spaces for 1,700 kids. So they were completely unprepared for what was about to happen, and
For sure.
yeah, they were just completely unprepared. And to piggyback off of that a little bit, what she was saying is where else are the kids gonna go? All in the pools and the hot tubs. The hot tubs were just, you couldn't get in the hot tub at all. I know there's some videos you'll watch me walking around and it'll look like the bar is empty or there's nobody in the hot tub. You have to realize that I'm walking around at 5:30, 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
That's the only time it was empty. As soon as people started getting up right in the hot tubs, there was only 4 hot tubs on the pool deck.
Yeah.
4 little hot tubs on the pool deck.
Yeah.
It just, it was.
They were always full.
So that was a down to the hot tub situation was down.
So I think I'll talk about the reservation system in general. The overall experience with making the reservation, so I think it's a good idea for you to have to make reservations to be able to do the activities, but the fact that they don't limit the amount of activities that you can book at one time is kind of discouraging, and also, affects the other guests as well. So we probably wasn't maybe a couple hours after we got on the ship, we actually started going in and trying to make our reservations. And there were tons of things that we actually couldn't even make reservations for, even, that we're making it the same day. So we weren't able to get into the escape room.
Nope.
We weren't able to get into
Single go-karts.
Single go-karts. And when we did get in a go-kart, we could only do a double go-kart. And we got laser tag, but it was canceled. And I'm pretty sure my husband will have something to say about that in a little bit. The whole reservation system really didn't work. I think that there's much better ways that they probably could have gone about that, just to ensure that more guests could have experienced some of these activities.
And to say that it's freestyle cruising, it's misguiding 100%. Yeah, it's not freestyle cruising. It's reservation cruising.
I'll go next with the Galaxy Pavilion. There are a lot of things that are good about it that I had just spoke about, but also to get in and pay to be able to do the things you wanted to do, you needed to have an adult or someone 18 and older, which wasn't I'll just say good, which wasn't good because me and Kayla were trying to get in. I'm 14, she's 16. We both have the pays on our cards, so we're able to pay for things, but they wouldn't allow us to even try and pay for what we wanted to do. So.
Yeah, it was definitely inconvenient for us. I think at one point we were trying to relax by the pool.
The bar crawl.
And trying to do a bar crawl,
and
we had to cut it short so that we could actually go get them into the pavilion. And I think the restriction is that they're supposed to stay with them the whole time as well.
Yeah.
Next, I want to say, believe it or not, too many specialty restaurants. Way too many specialty restaurants. It's taking up space that you can probably put something else there to disperse the crowds a little bit better. And the largest cruise ship in the world has 12 specialty restaurants. Not so large cruise ship, well, it's big compared to other ones, but it isn't the biggest one in the world. Has 19, sort of a problem.
Yeah.
You're sort of just adding specialty restaurants to say you have more, so it's kind of, there's just way too many. A lot of them stood empty. I believe Q, the barbecue one with that country music.
Yeah.
I've never seen nobody in there the whole time. Now, every time we walked by and we had to walk right by it, I looked over to the side and I've never seen nobody waiting.
Yeah.
Never really seen anybody in there. Even the time we walked in there to see what was it all about, nothing. So I think there was just too many specialty restaurants.
It's just a waste of space.
Yeah, just wasted space. They really could have put something else in there.
They could have made like a sports square or something. Like
Yes, they could have.
A
Yes.
basketball court or a soccer court.
There was no basketball court or whatever. Exactly. They could have put a basketball court, a multi-purpose area in some of these spaces instead of having these specialty restaurants that no one was going to.
Yeah.
So
Another dislike for me and for I know a lot of us and probably other people were the operations of the go-karts and how we made a reservation for the double go-karts, but by the time we actually started driving the go-karts, it was like an hour. after we stood in line and what we booked for. So like we had to wait in line, and then they had to scan all our cards, and then we had to wait, and then we had to wait. They had to wait, all of us, and then we had to go and wait again, and then we had to go.
Yeah, had the separate corrals.
Yeah, they had separate corrals. We had to wait in, and then we had to watch a safety video, which we've been watching the whole time while we were in line. And then we had to go on the go-karts, and we sat in the go-karts for 10 minutes, and then we went. It was a long process.
It was really long.
It was like an hour and a half after we booked.
Yeah, it's easily an hour from the time you actually check in to the time you're on the cart, which is
you probably wouldn't think that at all, especially if you made a reservation. Hey, I made a reservation at 3:30. You want to go there and you want to get on it because you have other activities.
There's other things you want to do. Exactly.
Do.
I managed to finagle my way onto the go-karts, and after 8 laps, personally, I would have did the wine tasting. That's just me. Anyway. You'll see that video coming soon. Oh, well, you should have saw it already by the time it's over. And also to talk about that a little bit more, which is also terrible, is just the go-karts and the laser tags being closed while the ship's in port. For us, the ship is the destination. The first day when we were trying to make reservations, we really didn't think so much of it because we were talking like, we've been to St. Thomas so much. We're always there. We do a lot of cruises that stop at St. Thomas. When we're in St. Thomas, and everyone exits the ship, we'll just get on the go-karts then, or we'll do the laser tag then. To come and find out that it's all closed while we're in port. It changed the balance of everything. I mean, it just changed the balance. It was for us, it was really no coming back, as far as I'm concerned, you know, because it just didn't suit the way we cruise. And had I known this before I booked this cruise, we wouldn't have did it. I'll be honest with you. We wouldn't have been on the ship had I known all the stuff now that I knew back then. So yeah, so for me that's just that's it. And then the other part is the laser tag. Not only is it not open while it's in port, they have no one on the ship that's capable of troubleshooting issues. They have to call the land-based vendor. We was there. We showed up on time. We got put into our. We checked in. We got put into our little slots. You're gonna go over here. You're gonna be scientists, and this, and that's that, whatever. And then it went down, and it was the second time it went down. They told us it was down for 3 hours.
The previous
day it was down for 3 hours, and for us that was the Puerto Rico day. We had to get off the ship. We were going kayaking, which was pretty awesome.
It was.
You know, it was fun. The lake does not glow like Avatar, but anyway.
No, I was so sad about that.
So the laser tag and the go-kart tracks was a 1-2 punch for us. It was just that's why we were there. We were on the ship for those things specifically.
Yeah,
I'm gonna piggyback on those because we were on there for the go-karts, the laser tag, as well as the drop slide.
Oh, and the drop slide.
So we did not actually get to go on the drop slide either. So we went over there and I tried to get on, and it turns out that you can't have any body jewelry, which honestly in most circumstances people just ask you to take off your earrings, your necklaces, that stuff I can understand, bracelets, but they actually wanted me to take off my eyebrow piercing and my belly button piercing.
I couldn't take, me too, the same thing, the eyebrow, the labret, and then my chest, which doesn't come
all
off.
my piercings I could deal with. I could take away everything else, but I can't take away my belly button ring. I've only taken off twice in my entire life to have my kids. So I need pliers to take it off, so there was a no-go for me unless I had a one-piece bathing suit. So he could have gone on with his nipples being pierced, with his water shirt on, but I couldn't go on with a 2-piece with my belly button ring.
Well, I could have went on had I not had to step on the scale. They were very specific on weight. They do have hatches if you slide back, only they don't want anybody to slide back. So they have a scale that doesn't have no numbers on it. It just has a green spot, just a green marker on it. And if you're in the green, you can go. If you're in the red, you can't. They don't know what the weight is. So they're operating the ride. You have to be in the green, but they don't know what that weight is. They don't know if it's between 150 and 200. They don't know if it's 140 to 180. They have no idea. They just look down at the scale, and if you're in that weight, you're able to go. So I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're over 220, I don't think you'll be able to go at all. So from just my guesstimate, like I said, they didn't tell us what the weight actually was.
Oh, I know one small thing that I just remembered was how their little souvenir shop was kind of in the middle of everything.
It was in the hallway.
Yeah, it was in the hallway. So there was this there was this hallway that you had to pass through to get from forward to aft or aft to forward.
Yeah.
And that hallway was blocked by the souvenir shop. And there was almost always people walking back and forth, from the cashier being on the right and the souvenirs being lined up on the left. It wasn't convenient at all. You were always bumping into people over there. And especially on the Black Friday sale. It was so bad. Either you completely went around everything around the outside, or you just had to hope that there was going to be a little spot for you to like make your way through. It wasn't good.
The only good thing about the Black Friday sale was I got to go on the go-kart tracks because
of the Black Friday.
Because a lady, one of the guests decided she wanted to go to the sale and she didn't want to join her family on the go-karts because they already been on it 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
So I managed to take her spot and all that. So, but anything else? Want to add? Overview? What do you think?
I thought it was good because a lot of the complaints don't really apply to me because I'm a child. But it was an experience.
Yeah, I would say it was okay because like there were things that I really enjoyed. So probably the day started off with something I enjoyed. In the middle, something happened that it was like, that's ridiculous. And then at the end, there was like a show or maybe something small to uplift my day a little bit. So it was kind of iffy around the days. It wasn't.
For me, it was kind of an eye-opener, just knowing that I really don't want to get on a ship that's brand new anymore. So I wanted to let it sail a little while. Let me hear some other people's review on it and hear some other people give me some tips on what I should do as soon as I get on, which would probably have made it a little bit easier for us. But yeah, it just was a little bit eye-opener. It could have been better. It could have been worse. This was not my worst cruise. Definitely not my best.
Yeah. And as far as I'm concerned, it was absolutely my worst cruise. As far as I'm concerned, it never got started for me. I mean, it just never. Every time something good happened, something bad happened. Days going good and this and that and blah blah blah. My daughter shows up. She's got a look on her face. Oh, what happened? Oh, the milk was spoiled. My grandson poured out milk and chunks of milk. So it was always these little things. It could never really get started. Every time it started, hey, okay, all right, then something else happened. It just, for me, it was just ongoing. It was never ending. So as far as I'm concerned, it's been the worst cruise I've ever been on. So, and since I'm the one who research cruises and book them, I guess we'll see. We'll see how it fares for Norwegian in the future.
Yeah.
So, and anything else?
No,
I got nothing else.
All right, so that's our ups and downs. Unfortunately for this cruise, there was more downs than there was up. Yeah. The good news is there's always another cruise on the horizon for us. Mm-hmm. So until the next adventure, deuces.